What's up, guys? This is Jonathan, and I'm back here to talk about this guy. This is the Canon FD 200mm f4. The focus got there. This is a very old lens coming from the Canon FD system, which this came with my Canon AE1 that I got. And this was something that I just never really used whenever I was rocking just the film cameras. And I've tried to use it, adapted onto my A6-300 with sort of varying success. It's just kind of an awkward focal length. It's about 300 with a dummy adapter on the Sony APS-C. And it just, especially on the A6300 without any image stabilization, turned into just a jittery mess. So you have to really use high shutter speed, and it was really difficult to use without a tripod or something like that. So not super useful until I got the GH7. And now the GH7 has really fantastic handheld stabilization, even with just a lens, non-native lens, even vintage lenses. You just have to input the focal length and it will do some computational adjustment, and using the physical IBIS, as well as you can use even the video stabilization as well. It just works fantastically. So what I've been doing with this is just kind of stepping out on my balcony, this door behind me, and just practicing some bird photography. And I've been really enjoying it. So it's kind of my introduction into bird and wildlife photography with, finally the ability to have that reach. So on the Micro Four Thirds system, this is an equivalent 400mm reach. So if the 50 is the human eye, then the 400 is about 8x magnification for the traditional sort of 50mm look. So that's quite good reach, and there'll be sample photos. But what's really nice about this lens is that you do have that reach, and it's been a really interesting challenge trying to nail focus. So my typical method is to go ahead and set my burst rate to high burst. And once I have focus, I'll go ahead and use the manual focus assist for the zoom and try to dial in the focus as much as I can. And around that point, once I start shooting, just drift just a little bit, a wiggle on the focus as I'm continuously shooting. And usually, most of the time, one of the shots ends up being pretty good. And with birds, they're pretty quick, pretty small, so it's hard if they're moving around a lot. In-flight photos, haven't really gotten the opportunity yet. Most of the time I'm just taking a look at the guys that are perched out here. But it's been a really fun and interesting challenge, trying to use manual focus lens. Some quirks is that at f4 it's pretty soft and the actual depth of field is pretty thin. So not to mention there's a decent amount of fringing and chromatic aberration. So trying to nail focus at f4 on a small subject very far away, even with a good viewfinder, even with good digital magnification, trying to nail with the manual focus assist, it's very difficult. So instead, I usually stop it down to about f8, just make sure we have a clearer picture. And then if I can, try to look for the focus peaking on the bird's eye, and usually those will come out pretty nicely. It does make me want to get a more modern lens so I can take advantage of the bird animal detect eye autofocus on the GH7, as well as even a longer lens, something like the 100 to 400, I think, gives you an equivalent 200 to 800. So something like that would be really incredible, trying to get better photos of large birds at far distance, different animals, and also just smaller, like there were hummingbirds out the other day that I couldn't really get because they're a little too quick, and it was a little difficult trying to set this thing up in time and try to nail the focus properly if they're moving around too much. So it would be interesting to try. What's really made this lens quite useful in my current repertoire is the fact that the GH7 has the Micro Four Thirds sensor, so it gives this the 2x crop, and the image stabilization is just astounding. So there'll be some demonstration video, demonstration photos, different things that I've been able to capture thus far, and I'm very happy to be using such an old lens. It can be had pretty cheap. I'm not saying anyone should go buy it, but this has been in my closet for quite a while and hasn't seen much love until just recently. So I'm pretty excited about it. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. Just a little showcase of the few nice pictures that I've been able to get and the nice videos that I've been able to get out of this really old lens, coupled with some technology that's very new in the Lumix GH7. So thanks for watching, and we'll see what I feel like making next time.